In 2002, Japan was shocked by a horrific discovery at the Tokyo railway station. One of the cars caught fire due to an electronic malfunction, and passengers were forced to hurriedly leave the train. A few hours later, when authorities began sorting through the passengers' luggage left in panic, they found something terrible in one of the bags. A teenage girl with amputated limbs was packed in plastic with small holes for breathing. Her vocal cords had been removed to prevent her from screaming. Remarkably, there were no signs of violence on her. Her health was not threatened. Her body was mutilated but in good condition. The girl was wrapped in the same plastic used for packaging toys. The number 72 was written on the wrapper with the girl inside with a marker. The same bag contained a notebook with a list of her allergies, a menstrual calendar, and other health-related information. The police tried to get information from her about the people who did this to her, but their attempts were unsuccessful. She could neither speak nor write and did not possess other communication skills. 6 years later, the now 20-year-old woman finally shared the events of the past. The woman's name was Kukumi. She had been missing since 1999. Her parents thought she was dead. Kukumi told them that a stranger told her that her parents had sent him to pick her up, and she got into his car. The man blinded her and sprayed something in her face, after which she lost consciousness. She woke up in a large, brightly lit white room in a locked cage with 2 other girls. In the center of the room was an operating table. Behind it, a person in surgical attire with an electric saw in hand was preparing to cut off the leg of the girl lying in front of him. One of her legs had been amputated earlier, and her arm, judging by the bandages, quite recently. The worst thing for Kukumi was that along the far wall she saw girls lying who had already undergone the operation. Although they were not moving, they were breathing and blinking. After seeing this, Kukumi lost consciousness. She came to on a bed, to which she was tied. To her horror, she could not utter a word. She unsuccessfully tried to scream and could not feel the fingers on one of her hands. Her left hand was cut off, and the stump neatly sewn up. She was not alone in the room. The girls lying there had 1 to 3 limbs amputated. All were deprived of their voices. Some of them twitch, trying to free themselves from the handcuffs and chains holding them, while others just look up and cry. All in complete silence. Kukumi says that she lost her sense of time quite quickly, as they were drugged daily. She was fed 3 times a day. The cover from her upper body was removed, and she could eat with her remaining hand. At first she drops food on the floor, then picks it up from there and begins to eat. Having no possibility of communicating with anyone and seeing no one but other girls, she begins to lose her sanity. She does not know the current time of day, her abductors, or their purpose. From time to time, some of the girls disappear, soon returning with 1 less limb. Although the interval between amputations should be several weeks, the sense of time is lost. After losing her last limb, her left leg, she was moved to a place called the exhibition hall. Being in the new room, she still lies in bed. The hall has a round shape and clean air. Along the walls stand platforms, on them beds with girls. Next to each one is a marker. In the center is an operating table with instruments, next to it a cage, at that moment empty. For the first time since her captivity, she sees her abductor face to face. It's an elderly man with a gray beard. She sees compassion on his face. He looks like a typical grandfather, not a trace of evil in his eyes. He removes her restraints, and she tries to bite him. Apparently, he was prepared for this. He pushes her back onto the bed and attaches a metal plate to her back, attached by some mechanism to the back of her head and pelvis. Kukumi did not know that attachments had been implanted into her skull and spine in conjunction with the plate, depriving her of the last possibility to move. The man brought a shield about 1.5 meters long with fastenings and 2 indentations. He picked up Kukumi and placed her on the shield, securing her plate. The shield with the attached girl was hung on the wall. The old man left the room, turning off the light in the hall. Kukumi says the first night was a real nightmare. She was surrounded by the sounds of blinking eyelashes, scaring more than the loudest scream. She stays awake for several days before she can fall asleep. Upon waking, her face is illuminated, but no one is near. The other girls' faces are made up. They are arranged in order of age from youngest to oldest. She realized that they had been collecting them for quite a long time. All of them look like typical Japanese girls with long, dark hair and fair skin. The man returns to the room with a bottle containing some liquid inside. He goes to each of them in turn and pours the contents into their mouths. After that, he makes another round, this time giving them water, and another one to check the condition of their bodies. On the fourth round, he simply admires his collection, adjusting someone's hair or applying powder. Occasionally, 3 girls are selected. Their left arms, their last limbs are cut off. They are wrapped in plastic, hidden in boxes, which are then taken away. When it's her turn, they write number 72 on her plastic. Through her box, she hears the noise of an engine, then other people. A few hours later, she is found. Several years later, her abductor is caught, who dies unexpectedly and inexplicably. The location with the other victims is never found. Every year in Japan, several tens of thousands of people disappear. 70% of them are underage girls.